Tigers, the preseason choice to win the ACC. Fourth year in a row, they are on the road for their opening ACC game, and tonight they get their first test against a Louisville team that's determined to right the wrongs of last week. The Cardinals busted out the new uniforms. They got the oversized chrome and metallic numbers. They're hoping the number 1 will soon be in the win column. Joe, Jesse, and David with you here. Glad you're with us. ACC opener for both. Bobby Petrino could have gone in any direction here in the preseason. 4 quarterbacks that can all play. 3 already have played. Where are they with this situation?
Yeah, $1 million question, but Bobby Petrino is going to go with the sophomore Kyle Bolin in tonight's game. He entered the loss against Houston in the 4th quarter. They were down. He moved the offense. They scored points. He's more of a drop-back style passer, accurate, makes good decisions with the football. But I think we're also going to see the very talented true freshman, Lamar Jackson. He's got skills he just can't teach. Unbelievable scrambler, allegedly can throw the football 85 yards down the field. The offense looks very different depending on which guy's in the game. But I think if they're going to win this game tonight, Louisville, they're going to need both these young quarterbacks to play at a very high level.
Urban legend is growing with the 85.
It'll be 90 next week.
By the end of the game, it'll be 90.
Exactly. No question at quarterback for Clemson. DeShaun Watson is 2 games in, and he's healthy.
He's healthy, and that's the only problem. That's the only reason people don't know him as well as they should. DeShaun Watson is a Heisman Trophy candidate type player. I wouldn't be surprised if he won one before he's out of college. Throws a great deep ball, exceptional poise, great presence in the pocket, can still scramble around, but loves to throw the football down the field and make big plays. New offensive coordinator, no problem when you got that guy as your quarterback.
10 players from Louisville were selected in the NFL draft. They're young, but they're talented. They're also hopeful against a Clemson team that very much looks the part of a college football playoff contender. Kickoff is straight ahead. Louisville's never been in a spot like this in recent years. 0-2 for the first time in 17 years. They haven't been 0-3 since 1984. Now look what awaits them. Glad to have our Kaylee Hartung working the sidelines. Good evening, Kaylee.
Hey there, Taz. Well, Bobby Petrino may have kept his cards close to the vest publicly, but all week long, his team has known who their starting quarterback will be. With no established guy, they all understand that the guy with the hottest hand wins. After week 1, it was Lamar Jackson. After week 2, undoubtedly, Bolin. Petrino says Bolin gives them their best chance to run their offense the way that they want to. Bolin says he's taking the field tonight, not just to win this game for his team, but to win the starting job for the rest of the season.
It's Greg Hugel. Walk-on kicker for Clemson will have the honors to get us started. And he sends it halfway into the end zone where Corbin Lamb takes a knee. So here is Kyle Bolin, sophomore from Lexington Catholic, just up the road, his 2nd career start. Last week he came in off the bench against Houston in the 4th quarter, started well, had 157 yards and a touchdown. 2 4th quarter touchdown drives he led them on. See if he can keep some momentum here against this Clemson defense.
And it's been an offense that's turned the ball over 6 times already through 2 games. They got to find somebody who can right the ship. They believe the steady hand is Kyle Bolin. See if he can keep them in positive situations and not make mistakes tonight.
He's going to pass to open up the game. And he gets his first attempt of the game complete to Jalen Smith.
Number 14, Kyle Bolin's pass complete to number 87, Jalen Smith.
And that's kind of what Kyle Bolin does. He doesn't really wow you with athletic ability. He bores you with completions. And that's really a good thing. When you watch his games last year against Kentucky in the bowl game against Georgia and Houston in the 4th quarter, he just takes what the defense gives. He keeps this offense in rhythm.
2 tight ends in with Mickey Crum, now the lead blocker for Radcliffe, as he muscles his way towards and beyond with that extra effort the 40-yard line. Good final push from that Louisville front. There's Lamar Jackson, the true freshman, the dynamic athlete, as Louisville fans saw in week 1 against Auburn. Expect that he may get in tonight.
Yeah, there's a place for him in this game. He just has way too much athleticism to keep on the bench. So definitely expect to see number 8, the fabulous true freshman, in this game at some point. And a guy that this Clemson defense needs to be able to keep their eye on, know when he's in the game, because the offense changes entirely.
2nd and 6, play action, big rush and swarm that time as TJ Green, the safety, came straight in on Bolin.
Brent Venables, Clemson defensive coordinator, deciding to dial up heat. You're going to see right up here up the top side. Just coming in untouched. Does a nice job staying home and keeping the contain and not chasing the pursuit on the fake handoff.
It's only Clemson's 3rd sack of the season, and we're up against limited opposition in the first 2 weeks. Great effort by Green.
And this is exactly where Bobby Petrino does not want his offense. He talked about getting in 3rd and short situations with a young quarterback, especially against Brent Venables' defense, who you'll see them. They'll move around all over the place.
3rd and 16 for Bolin. And he throws short and complete to Crum. But they will be punting away as Tankersley came up to make the tackle on the redshirt freshman tight end.
Very good start for the Clemson defense, getting a massive negative play on 2nd down, now creating a punt situation to give back to DeShaun Watson here. What could be very good field position with a very dangerous returner in Artavis Scott.
Josh Appleby on to punt. And the fair catch caught right around the 30-yard line. A 4.77 hang time there from Appleby. Well, here comes the superstar. DeShaun Watson, one of the most heralded recruits in the country, was an early enrollee, and then the spring game gets injured with a broken collarbone. When he does start for Clemson, he's spectacular. The 6-touchdown game against Carolina. Only 11 snaps against Louisville, tears his ACL, and plays the hero in the in-state rivalry game at the end of the year against South Carolina. So much adversity overcome, and now a fresh start with health for DeShaun Watson as a sophomore. Quick screen goes to Scott as he stiff arms his way out of bounds.
And I think Clemson's a playoff caliber team, and it's all because of that guy right there, number 4. It's amazing to think he's 19 years old. He's only a true sophomore, plays way beyond his years. I think he's one of the best pure passers in the game. They've got to keep him healthy this year. That's the entire key for their season.
2nd and 6. As Gallman tries to find some room up the middle, and only able to gain maybe a yard and a half or 2 as Sheldon Rankins came up with the tackle. A little loud here early on 3rd down. They run option, and Watson is going to be right near that line to make.
And he's not a runner by nature, but he can do this. He's a dynamic athlete. You see it right here, great play on 3rd and short. Take it, run a speed option right now, lower the shoulder, take a tough hit. We talked about his injuries. It's one thing that Clemson staff's worried about as well, him taking shots.
Watson to pass now on 1st down. Good touch on this one, but it is intercepted. He floated it out there, and it was picked off that time by James Burgess, his 7th career interception.
Clemson's trying to sneak a wheel route to tight end Jordan Leggett. They're going to line him up in the backfield down the sideline. This is a great job by Louisville's defense staying home. Look at number 16 here. He snuck out of the backfield. Looks like he had a step on the defender. That's a tremendous job by James Burgess going up and one-handing that ball.
And whether he picked that or not, it was a terrible decision by DeShaun Watson. It was a bad throw. Talk about the touch and laying it up there. There was still another guy there to make the play, even if the linebacker wasn't. Bad decision, bad throw by DeShaun Watson.
Bolin checks at the line now. After the turnover, it's Jeremy Smith for a couple of yards. That Louisville defense coming up with the turnover. You know, they had given up a touchdown on each of their opponents' opening drives this season, and then Burgess comes up big there.
This is something that Louisville's D did so well a year ago. They had 30 takeaways on the season, which was tops in the ACC. You know, they were able to create some turnovers in their first 2 games this year. The issue, as David mentioned earlier, was Louisville they keep giving it back. So whether they're running the football or throwing it, the biggest key for this Louisville offense tonight is just ball security.
Empty set here on 2nd and 8. They go with the slant and they're able to get it that time as Samuel, 5'7" freshman Samuel, with the reception.
There's an example of a good, quick decision by Bolin and an accurate throw, putting it where only his 5'7" true freshman receiver can make the play.
It's a huge target.
Yeah.
5'7"?
Unlike you and Joe Tess, when we have our spin sessions every Wednesday.
Fun
So,
Wednesdays there. Got a little physical this week, but fun. See big number 1, Jaron Curse, coming in again as Bolin just falls on it inside the 20-yard line, going in the wrong direction.
So self-inflicted wounds. You've had a couple negative plays early. You just dropped a pass that would have been a sure first down, and now you can't execute the quarterback-center exchange. That's a good snap. That's one that Kyle Bolin has to catch. It just looks like he takes his eyes off the snap, looking upfield a little bit just too soon. Can't happen.
So 4th punt in 4 possessions for Louisville as Appleby's back out there. And Scott has a chance to give Clemson really good field position. Clemson will be back to business on offense. DeShaun Watson just 13 yards passing and the 1 interception. And look at Gallman lower his shoulder at the end there.
And how about Clemson? You know, you got some O-linemen that are banged up, shuffling them guys around. Come out with 2 tight ends and just say, we're going to play a little smash mouth football. Do a great job, again, getting to the edge of this defense. Not running right up the middle by big Sheldon Rankins, who's a wrecking crew, one-man wrecking crew inside.
Oh. Movement again.
Not when I go get him right now.
Runs down.
Yeah, guess who? Maverick Morris.
The replacement.
Ball start. Offense. Number 69. 5-yard penalty. First down. Please reset the game clock to 1 second. 1 second.
I'm going to put 1 second back into this first quarter as Joe Gore anxiously awaits his arrival back into that offensive line unit.
See Herbie and Ronda Rousey together on the play, call over there.
Interesting combination for Kirk, isn't it?
That would not end well for Kirk.
Clemson scored 49 and 41 in their first 2 games. Scoreless here in Louisville. Defense has been the story early on. More to come from Papa John's Cardinals Stadium. Stay with us. See if that Louisville defense can sting like a bee here. Artavis Scott quick to the outside.
He is so explosive. He's a breath away from taking it to the house. It's a good idea by Clemson to spit it out to him quickly. You see good news for Clemson. Starting right tackle Joe Gore now back in the lineup.
Second and 10 from midfield for DeShaun Watson and the Clemson Tigers. Empty set, trips to the near side as the whistle came.
There's no flags.
Dwayne Height, our ACC referee tonight.
All right. Just kidding, guys.
All good.
Don't worry about that whistle.
It's Gallman now in the backfield on 2nd and 10. And he's inside the 45, leaving a 3rd and 4 for Clemson.
It's pretty good. I mean, this drive started after the 2 penalties. What was it, 1st and 20? Yeah. I mean, they've gotten a big chunk of that back now. Here you are in that area again if you're Clemson. Is it 4-down territory or not? I think it might be the way their defense is playing. Even if you don't get this right now, I think you're going for it on 4th.
3rd and 4. Receivers stack. Watson trying to extend the play. And he's able to with a good effort that time. As it'll be a first down from Clemson.
And that gives you an idea of his talent. I mean, he buys a little bit of time. Buys a little time, scrapes to his left. And watch this. This is a dart. He just darts it out to the outside. Right side of the shoulder so his guy can catch it. It's a heck of a play.
Touchdown, Clemson. Hunter Renfrow.
And a very accurate throw under duress by DeShaun Watson. He takes a monster shot here in the pocket. This play took a little bit of time to develop because it was going so far deep down the field. But just watch him in the pocket here. Looking to his right, going to get a little pump free up, and he takes a blast right in the solar plexus. Talked about how DeShaun Watson had to settle down. He's looked very good on this drive.
As Hugo adds the extra point, and for Hunter Renfrow, his first career touchdown.
Great job by Watson here. Clemson needed an answer. Found some explosive plays to go up 7. Toughness by the 19-year-old true sophomore.
Got the Aflac trivia question. DeShaun Watson, 2015 preseason ACC Player of the Year. Who was the last preseason selection to actually go on and win the award?
I got to guess.
I got to guess, too.
You want me to say it now?
Well, yeah, I mean, this one, we'll wait. We'll wait. We'll hold it.
Because America just wants to hear us.
Yeah, I mean, they're
just
dying. They're dying to find this out. This knowledge that we spew on a weekly basis.
Corbin Lamb. As he tried to catch that seam. What was your guess?
I'm going C.J. Spiller.
I'm going. Did Jameis not win it last year?
No. Connor won it last year, didn't he?
Got to go all the way back to 2007 and Matty Ice.
Wow.
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan from Boston College back in 07 had that memorable finish against Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
As the highlight of that season.
Then everybody said he couldn't play, and he didn't get drafted high, and then he goes on the NFL and starts balling in Atlanta.
Still cashing big checks. Got BC up to number 2 in the country that year. And see if Watson can get the payoff at the end of this season. Yeah. Some pressure off the edge. They pick it up. Bolin over the middle. That is batted away, incomplete. We mentioned Alabama Ole Miss. That's part of a doubleheader. Prime time presented by Hilton, South Carolina, and Georgia. We'll get you started at 6 o'clock, and then 9:15. There it is. Ole Miss and Alabama.
How about, I remember last year's game when Ole Miss won. How many big-time throws did Bo Wallace make in that game? Deep down the field in clutch moments. He made some plays with his feet. That's what Ole Miss quarterback Chad Kelly's going to have to do in his first real test. Now on the road without his best left tackle, probably best player on offense in Laramie Tunsil.
Chad Kelly, a former Clemson Tiger, going to take a shot here and connecting on it with Jalen Smith. How about that? Louisville's in business.
Jalen Smith had 2 big drops earlier in this game. We talked about how Louisville wanted to stay aggressive. This time they get him matched up with a safety in TJ Green. The speed able to get behind. It's a beautifully thrown ball by Bolin. Louisville now knocking on the door here at the end of the first half.
55-yard reception as Bolin was able to find Smith. Quick out that time is complete. As he finds Mickey Crum, talented tight end.
And I like the confidence in Bolin to keep going back to the young true freshman. There are a lot of quarterbacks, a receiver drops a pass early and then he drops a go route later. You kind of make a mental note, you know what, I can't trust him, I'm not going to throw to him. Good on the sophomore Bolin for just reading the defense, allowing the coverage to dictate who gets the throw, and Jalen Smith rewarding him for his confidence.
Second down run, Radcliffe. Spins for a little something extra. As he is just inside the 10-yard line, it'll be third down there. Got to get to the 5-yard line for a fresh set. Louisville had 56 yards in their first 27 plays before that big 55-yarder to Smith. but can they take advantage now?
You're thinking about Mickey Crum at tight end, number 83, was so big in their game last week against Houston over the middle of the field.
3rd down and 4. Pressure right up the middle. Bolin survives it, but tosses it away, as it was Ben Boulware who was darting in.
And that's a great decision by Bolin. This is why he's starting at quarterback, I think. Listen, he does a great job buying time. The offensive line, horrible communication up front. Lets Boulware run free, but right here, throw the ball away, take 3 points. Jackson, you saw in this situation against Houston, you know, he fumbled the ball. They've had a lot of turnovers. Take the points and get some momentum going in the half on this offense.
John Wallace, the veteran kicker, with a 26-yard attempt. He's been good inside of 40 in his career, 42 of 48 inside of 40. As Louisville is on the board.
With that kick, Alston will make another $300
The Louisville quarterbacks started off a little bit shaky. Protection wasn't great for Bolin, but here in the second quarter, in this last drive, huge completion down the field to true freshman Jalen Smith. We've also seen Lamar Jackson get in the game, a true freshman. There's been a place for him, adding a different wrinkle to this offense on running situations. Forced Clemson to have to respect him in a different way, and a couple different pictures that Louisville's offense has been able to show Clemson because of these two quarterbacks.
That was a fun personnel group they put in there with Jackson and Bonifant on the field.
Yeah.
You think we'll see more of that in the second half?
I do. I mean, I think they're really going to have to empty whatever they've got against the talent that they're seeing from this Clemson defense. Use all the weapons. Leave all, don't leave any bullets in the chamber.
I think I was more shocked so far by Clemson's offense and their inability to move the football. Listen, they shuffled their offensive line up front with their 3rd-string tackle at one point, but DeShaun figured to have a little bit more success.
Scott makes a decision to bring it out. And he is taken down from the kick coverage at the 10-yard line by Alexander.
You see, much better since the start of this game. He's going to have to continue that play here in the second half.
As Gallman is met at the line of scrimmage and then able to pick up maybe a yard and a half there.
Timeout Louisville. If you're on defense here, try to get the ball back. Good field position. If you could force a punt. Remember, you elected to receive at the start of the game, so Clemson's going to get the ball back in the second half.
They didn't listen to you.
No. Clock is running
Just
under
like
a minute
Joe
here.
in the booth.
Every week.
Just tune you out.
And most of America.
Petrino sits on those 2 timeouts here as we're coming under 40 seconds in this first half. And Gallman just secure that ball and we'll be in business, or a little something more than that, with the very strong effort out past the 20.
He's been impressive so far.
He sure has, hasn't he? Runs hard.
Making something out of nothing when it's not there between the tackles, lowering his shoulder, getting 3 or 4 yards, keeping the offense on schedule, breaking tackles. They get that with Watson, with some of the weapons on the perimeter. The offensive line continues to gel. This will be a tough offense to stop.
78 yards rushing in the first half for Gallman. Dabo thinks he's going to be big time. He's already looking the part. And Coach Petrino trying to explain things there as to what the intention was with that timeout. 7-3 Clemson at the break. We're going to hear from Coach Petrino in a moment with Kaylee, but first let's send you to the Land Rover halftime report. Gentlemen, take it away.
Coach, what do you make of Kyle Bolin's decision-making on your last drive?
Well, we were able to move the ball. He made a really nice throw. We got a long play. We wanted to try to get it in when we got down here, but we'll take the 3 points. We're in a great game, 7-3.
What can you tell us about your mindset as we've seen 3 of your quarterbacks take the field in one capacity or another?
We're going to try to do everything we can to win the game.
If you couldn't get a ticket inside to the blackout at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium, just party outside. 7-3 at the half. Clemson, the first half that included 10 combined punts as you're watching the ACC on ESPN. Wayne Gallman, the big story for the Clemson offense, his steady work of 12 carries for 78 yards. Louisville only 117 yards of total offense as Clemson will get the ball to start things off here. Let's check in with Kaylee.
Well, Tess, Dabo Swinney not sweating the complications that his offensive line has had. He did confirm that right tackle backup Jake Fairmorgan is out for the rest of the game, but we have seen Joe Gore back in there. We saw that at the end of the second half. He told me he's pleased with the way his team's running the ball. He is looking for this first possession of the second half to make some productive moves.
96 rush yards for Clemson to Louisville's 15. Just a 4-point margin for the number 11 Tigers, who have won 31 straight games against teams not ranked in the top 25. And this time Gallman can't find much at all.
This offensive line for Clemson here in the second half is going to be really, really key. And one thing Clemson hasn't done really this game is take shots deep down the field themselves. I think a concern right now is pass protection for DeShaun Watson. So running the football on early downs, keeping third downs manageable, and keeping number 4 up.
2nd and 8, Watson looking downfield for Scott. And it is intercepted by Shaq Wiggins. So the transfer from Georgia comes up big to start this second half for Louisville.
You just said he hadn't taken many shots down the field. DeShaun Watson made a bad throw on the wheel route early for a pick. Another bad decision here. Obviously, Scott can fly. You want to throw it, it's going to have to be a better ball than that. He hangs up in the air too far, and it goes too far towards the corner where Shaq Wiggins can make a play. A little insult to injury, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's a play that when Artavis Scott actually falls down, and that's one, as a quarterback, you'd like your receiver to protect you. And either he goes up and gets it, or if he doesn't get it, nobody gets it. Good job by Shaq Wiggins. Athletic ability to go up, stay on his feet, high point the football. Huge turnover for the Cardinals.
Bolin batted right back at him by Boulware. Boulware has been in the backfield time and time again.
Well, in Brent Venable's scheme, Ben Boulware is the guy that blitzes the most out of anybody. Number 10 in linebacker, and that's just a green dog. He's just kind of watching, waiting to let just a hole open up in front of him. Sees no running back. He's going to step up and take him. He's now in the backfield right away, and for a 5'11" linebacker, he climbs the ladder and rejected.
Everybody at home just went, green dog? What is that? Huh? He blitzed late.
Simplify. That's why you're here.
2nd and 10, play action. And here he goes with L.J. Scott. L.J. Scott just sent a would-be tackler flying back. That was Travis Blanks, who got a whole lot of shoulder.
It's a great job of Bolin staying patient with this, because L.J. Scott didn't come out of the backfield clean. He kind of got nicked up. He got bumped when he was coming out of the route. A lot of quarterbacks would have gone. Look at that block.
About to say, forget L.J. Scott. The block was money. It's kind of on the side, too. And the guy landed on his side, too, so it's not a clip if he lands on his side.
There's Radcliffe on the pitch. Good opening drive of this second half for Louisville.
Mickey Crum, a freshman tight end, doing a nice job with effort here. He got his helmet out in front of TJ Green, which is why that was clean, but that'll wake you up. Yeah. Welcome to Louisville.
Louisville's got a little bit of an edge to them coming out here in his second half at home. Trailing by 4, 2nd and 3. Second and 3, Bolin complete for a first down. As Bolin gets it to Mickey Crum.
Mickey Crum's a guy that I think needs to be more involved in the game plan here in the second half. Only a freshman, but at 6'4", almost 260 pounds. Big target over the middle of the field, can run. And he proved against Houston last week he can make tough catches in traffic.
Yeah, had 6 catches for 103 yards and a touchdown.
A lot of young playmakers for Louisville that you got to like, and you've seen him already. Crum right there. You saw Jalen Smith as well.
Play action. Bolin with time. Downfield, but far beyond and to the outside for Crum. And a flag is down back at the 35-yard line.
Might get roughing the passer on Shaq Lawson again.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Defense, number 90. 15-yard penalty. Correction, half the distance, first down.
Wow.
Haven't been calling Shaq Lawson's name for the right reasons tonight.
Take a look here again.
That's not hands in the face.
It's not really hands in the face, though.
At all.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Bolin go down.
First of all, the first PI, or the first roughing the passer, was questionable. I mean, he touched him. And
This
right
is almost
there,
like he's trying to brace himself as he's coming
Slowing
in.
himself down.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
But he does need to show up, Joe. You've called his name twice, and
That's right.
he had a good play on 3rd and short. But other
Dabo
than
Sweeney
that,
calls him the best defensive lineman we've ever signed.
Which is saying something considering Vic Beasley and Grady Jarrett. There's a lot of others that played for him
Daquan
here at
Bowers,
Clemson. Yeah.
Branch. So first down, and they go on the ground with Radcliffe. And he's met by Boulware.
but even that, 2nd and 3, you saw play action. 1st and 10, last down, you saw play action. I think that's a must for this offense. Bobby Petrino's, whoever's at quarterback, I know it's not ideal, but Bolin, he's got to trust him and allow him to throw on 1st down. If Venables is going to stack the box, you better make sure that you give him something to think about in the back end.
Second and 6. Just inside the 10-yard line. Radcliffe, as he gets that seal on the edge from Crum. And Curse finally gets to him.
You just mentioned that seal block, Joe. That's key. And Louisville here early in the second half, finding success running outside. Watch the tight end, 83 in motion, going up against a much bigger Shaq Lawson at defensive end. Good footwork, good matchup, and here we go.
And here's that unique personnel group of 2 quarterbacks in the game, Lamar Jackson and Reggie Bonifin playing as the up back here. As they go with Radcliffe, and he tries to get down inside the 1-yard line, met by Goodson that time. It'll be 2nd and goal. So Lamar Jackson, who was pulled and replaced by Bolin last week after throwing 2 interceptions, was sensational week 1 against Auburn, had over 100 yards rushing. Using him in sets like this. Up and stopped that time was Radcliffe. He was met and thrown back by Blanks and Lawson.
I always get confused why people jump from the 3-yard line. You're not going to make it in the end zone anyway, especially when you stretch the ball across. But
I think here, if you're Louisville and you want to take advantage of Lamar Jackson's legs, he's coming out of the game now, Bolin back in. You see him firing up this offense to get in. 0 for 8 on 3rd down so far in this game. This one, the biggest down of the game so far.
And that time it's Jeremy Smith. Touchdown, Cardinals. John Wallace makes it a 3-point margin.
You go back and check this. I love the personnel. Firstly, they go unbalanced line. If you count from the center over left, there's 5 offensive linemen in a row getting more beef up front. You bring in your short yardage back, Jeremy Smith, easily their biggest running back at 6'2", 220. And there's the surge that Kyle Bolin was yelling for and screaming for in the huddle right before that snap.
There was just purpose to Louisville on that last drive. There was determination there.
It's a different offense when you don't turn the football over. Regardless of who's playing quarterback and what system you're running, turnovers have been their biggest enemy in the first 2 weeks. But when you don't turn it over, you don't put your defense in bad situations, your defense stays rested, they don't have to play as many snaps. The defense has answered the bell tonight. You just play mistake-free on offense, it changes everything.
yeah, and it was in the first half, it was just big plays. It was just a big play down the field to Smith. That one sustained a good drive. Quarterback got in a little rhythm. Now you can trust him a little bit more, too, which makes Bobby Petrino even more dangerous as a play caller.
Kelly.
Tess, fiery was the word Louisville's offensive coordinator Garrick McGee gave me before the game to describe Kyle Bolin in live action. As Bobby Petrino told us, he is a fierce competitor. This place is important to him. We hadn't seen Kyle Bolin come alive like he did in that last drive until then.
Option, pitch, first down, spin move, more. Goldman, oh my, kept his balance and got inside the 50 to the 43-yard line. Tremendous 25-yard run.
Love the play call by Clemson. You put Devontae Fields, one of the best athletes on the field, in a no-win situation. You don't block him, you let him make the mistake. He takes the quarterback, you pitch off him.
Here's the pitch again to Goldman, as he has worked hard all night long. Over 100 yards rushing for Wayne Gallman.
And if there's a, I know there's a running back rotation, and you're going to see more guys come in. C.J. Davidson just came in, but when Gallman touches it, it's a little bit different than everybody else. He looks like a dependable workhorse back that they can lean on all year long.
Second and 5 as Clemson looks to answer. Louisville, the interception and then the touchdown drive to take the lead. And on the quick out here, that was a good effort that time from Deon Cain. He's another young 5-star recruit who's got tremendous upside.
And nice anticipation on this throw. DeShaun Watson throws it way before Deon Cain had even turned around. The short passing game has been very money for Clemson tonight, but need to be a little bit more dangerous and accurate in the deep stuff.
C.J. Davidson showing a little wiggle and tried to make the most of it for 3 yards.
Number 92, Devontae Fields on the tackle.
Wonder if this is an area of the field where Louisville might pressure more, see if they can back Clemson out of field goal range. They've got a 3-point lead right now. See if Todd Grantham, the defensive coordinator, decides to get more aggressive.
Gallman back in. He's in the slot to the near side on 2nd and 7. Design quarterback run. And Watson trying to get to the 20-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down from there, about 3rd and 4 from there. It's a good effort from Kelsey, the inside linebacker, to stay with it.
3rd and 4.
Third and 4 to Gallman. Can he pick up a block? No. Ball is out, but he's ruled down just inside the 19-yard line, where it is now 4th down. James Hearn with the tackle of Gallman.
And we've talked about the quick game and exposing this defense a little bit. Watch Shaq Wiggins at the top of your screen, far left. Reads it right away. Understands the ball's going to come out quick. Situational football. You know, on 3rd down and 5, 3rd down and 4, they want to throw the ball short. Great job for the corner.
Clemson has decided to send out Greg Hugel for the 36-yard attempt. Trying to tie this game. And he does so. Greg Hugel, who was a high school kicker, but then came to Clemson to just be an architectural student, went out, tried out to be a kicker, and with Lekip, the senior kicker, suspended to start the season, he's out there and just tied up this game. Clemson has won 31 straight against unranked opponents, but they are being put to the test at Louisville. Hugel with a short kickoff at Lamb Fields, and then was pinched against the sidelines there. Bolin pressured, launches it downfield and swatted away that time by Tankersley.
That's the guy they want to go after. So there's Tankersley making a big play himself and reacting, knowing he's on an island one-on-one. Clemson defensively want to be aggressive and put a lot of bodies close to the line of scrimmage. There's a guy at 6'1" with long arms making a play.
And the pressure right up the middle started it, but
oh, perfect.
Great job. Great job staying in the hip pocket. Both times, though, you see Jalen Smith go deep. Every time you've seen him go deep, he has a great feel for pushing off and extending that arm at the last second. He's also a 6'4" target, so keep hitting him. Keep throwing it to him.
They got blitz on 2nd and 20, and it's just a short completion that time.
Guess who?
As it was Boulware again.
Boulware, you've seen him fly in there time after time again, deliver some big licks. Look at it right in the middle of your screen. They cross the linebackers up the middle, confusion. And tell you what, Bolin will stand in there, though. He ain't scared. 3rd and 16, though.
Yeah, I think if you're Clemson now, expecting screen, draw, the pass protection as shaky as it's been for Louisville and as good as this pass rush has been for Clemson, if you're Bolin, you better have a plan.
3rd and 16. And that time, Shaq Lawson comes up with a positive for Brent Venables and his defense.
Yeah, we've talked about him. Big-time player. Haven't called his name for the right reasons tonight.
Holding. Offense. Number 73. Please decline. 4th down.
You know, Shaq Lawson had more tackles last year than first-round NFL pick Vic Beasley in half the amount of snaps.
And he's 6'3", 270, but watch him left side of your screen. Look at him get around the corner real quick, use his hands, and then bend and make that turn around the corner.
That's why you talk about him being complete, because at 6'3", 270, he's strong enough to play the run and set the edge. But he also has that kind of burst and strength to rush the passer. You'll find a lot of guys like him.
So Josh Appleby punting from halfway into his end zone. And he turns this over and spins it back inside the 40 where Scott has to fair catch it. 52-yard punt for Appleby. All tied up as Shaq took care of business against Bolin. Good scene here in Louisville as Clemson with Artavis Scott getting out to the edge and wrapped up by Shaq Wiggins and sent back a bit. They'll give him the forward progress out to the 44-yard line.
Hadn't seen a jet sweep one time tonight.
Yeah.
Surprising. It's a staple in this offense a lot of times, especially with Chad Morris. You saw it a ton with Sammy Watkins and Williams, and Scott, as good as he is with the ball in his hands, I'd find ways to keep giving him touches and getting him on the perimeter.
2nd and 4. Dahlman. That time he barely gets back to the line of scrimmage.
You know,
as Trevin Young again with the play.
We haven't seen Clemson have a lot of success throwing the ball deep down the field tonight. I think a guy they really miss is wide receiver Mike Williams. Of course, he suffered a very scary neck injury in their Week 1 win against Wofford, hitting his head on the goalpost. But he was a guy who was one of the best deep threats in the country, a potential breakout player this year at wide receiver. Could have become a household name and a ball hawk deep down the field. They just haven't had that dynamic element in their offense tonight.
3rd and 4. Complete for a first down to Leggett. And just to wrap up the story on Mike Williams, doctors very encouraged with his progress.
Yeah, which is good news.
Anytime you hear fracture in neck together in the same sentence, it's never.
Well, that hits home obviously with you, David. And we're all thinking about Mike Williams and his recovery. Here's the screen with Scott.
That's too easy. I mean, it's been there all night. It's not like it's 2 yards a pop. I mean, you're talking about 5-7 yards a pop. Unless Louisville wants to tighten up on the outside, play some man coverage. If you're Clemson, you keep taking that.
2nd and 5. C.J. Davidson, the back in the pistol with Watson. Little pop here to Sankinger.
Watch DeShaun Watson on this play, try and negotiate a free defender in front of him. He's going to fake this get outside, one-on-one with Young. You got to change your arm angle, get that football out, try to get it around him. It's not easy to do.
Senginger working his way back healthy, had that knee injury. Now they split the set wide with Hyatt coming out, the freshman tackle coming out, as if they're going to throw a screen to him. Instead, wide open down the middle, and Jordan Leggett scores the touchdown. Funky formation, gave them the look. Louisville bit, Clemson scored.
And they were able to hide Leggett. They lined him up at left tackle in this play. They kind of got to the formation really quickly and snapped it. He's going to be at the top left tackle, number 16. And he's an eligible receiver. He's uncovered by two receivers up top over him, just runs a seam route down the middle of the field. Defense doesn't see him. That's a nice play call and a nice design by co-offensive coordinators Jeff Scott and Tony Elliott of Clemson.
They take the freshman left tackle, flop him with the tight end, and pull it off. 17-10, Clemson. Something special from the new co-offensive coordinators. Jordan Leggett from DeShaun Watson. Joe, Jesse, David, and Kaylee at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium, where Clemson just pulled one off with a formation that released the tight end from the left tackle position to score the touchdown. Lamb with the return here, could not spin free. Kyle Bolin. What an effort from Tankersley. Interception, Clemson.
Tankersley, he's been targeted over and over and over. In these last two shots they've taken on him, he's made the bigger play. That's a great job of turning around, locating the football with his eyes. No interference, high pointing the ball. I mean, that is, put that on the reel for cornerback play and man-to-man coverage.
We always talk about this tempo offense for Clemson. They haven't had it tonight. They haven't been able to institute. They only got 49 plays, but now field goal, then a touchdown. Now they get to implement it and keep it going.
Fake the jet motion give, and then they bring it back to Scott, who makes the first man miss and is still driving his legs past midfield.
And a good decision by DeShaun Watson. Sudden change situation. You get the ball right back after a turnover. This play call is for a home run shot deep down the field, but you don't get overly aggressive and greedy. Just take what the defense gives you, check it down. That's good maturity by DeShaun Watson.
Fourth quarter coming up. Fourth quarter has arrived after some fabulous plays to close out the third, like Cordray Tankersley with the interception. Sprint, pitch, complete, first down, Ray.
It's kind of a pick your poison dilemma too if you're Louisville, because there's so much speed at wide receiver in Artavis Scott and Ray McLeod. And so if you decide to jump up and take away those quick now passes, well, now you're lending yourself to potential go throws deep down the field. It's a slow death or a fast one potentially for Louisville's defense at this point.
But you got to do something different now, because DeShaun Watson in this offense, they got to figure it out.
Gallman was able to find that hole before he was pushed back that time by Josh Harvey Clemens.
They got to keep doing that. I mean, I think if there's been one consistent, one constant in this offense for Clemson, it's been number 9, Gallman. Been running incredibly tough, both in between the tackles and outside, shedding blocks. The passing game deep hasn't been great. They've had some issues. They've had some turnovers. When they've given it off to number 9, generally good things have happened.
Jet motion, they keep it on the inside with Gallman, who spins and drives those legs, and that extra push may have a first down.
And that's all Gallman. I mean, that's not an offensive line making a bunch of push. Watch him get this football. And the other angle, you can see, even look at that unblocked defender. hits the circle button right away, runs his feet, get a little help from his offensive lineman. Right here, watch this. It's a tackle for a loss for most backs in college football.
First down, Clemson inside the 20. After the turnover on downs, this could be a statement drive, and the big night continues for Wayne Gallman.
He's going to provide so much more balance to this offense this year. Remember last year, first half of the season, they weren't very consistent running the ball. They were trying different running backs, weren't playing great up front. I think with number 9, they know he's the workhorse. He's the guy that can open a game. He runs with power, but he also has home run speed, and something that defenses all year long inside the ACC, they're going to have to contend with and have a game plan for week in, week out.
C.J. Davidson comes in now for Gallman on 2nd and 3. And he tried to bounce it to the outside, taken down by Burgess.
Curious to see the play call here. Up 7. Watson's made some mistakes tonight to help Louisville stay in the game.
I like that speed option they've run today with some success. Getting Watson on the perimeter against an unblocked defensive end.
And they run it to the short side of the field, too.
Yeah.
Quarterback run. And Watson to the 10-yard line.
You know, the good thing with quarterback runs is you get the +1 advantage blocking. The bad thing is sometimes they're slow developing plays. It allows the defensive line to get penetration, which they did right there. It's a good stop with their backs against the wall. But now Clemson obviously with an opportunity to make this a 2-possession game. This is big.
Greg Hugel. He made earlier tonight from 36. This just a 27-yard attempt for Hugel. And he gives them a cushion. 10-point margin. As it's been Wayne Gallman, 130 yards rushing tonight, leading the way for number 11, the Clemson Tigers. This is Samuel on the return. Trayvon Samuel, watch out. Here he goes. 5'7" freshman, but he's coming up big right now. How about it? Yard kickoff return. Shocked, aren't you?
We've seen true freshmen at wide receiver making some plays for Louisville in this game tonight. Here's another one of those receivers leaving his mark on special teams. It's like J-Ron Curse was about to grab him right before he got to the end zone. But how about the quickness? Just finding the hole, putting his foot in the ground, and the burst. Dangerous, dangerous. You got to like the future of Louisville at the skill positions offensively. Yeah, they're young. Yeah, they don't have a lot of reps. But
this thing being pushed to 2010,
offense
they needed
sputtering.
it, he gave it.
Yeah, you don't trust the offense the way you've seen it so far to have 2 scoring drives. It's a big-time play on special teams. Last week, Houston had a big-time play against them on special teams. This week, they returned the favor.
So much fun watching young players play. Clemson's got a lot of inexperience on defense, young bodies. Louisville has a lot of it at wide receiver, but I'd rather be inexperienced and really good than just experienced and average. We're seeing a lot of young talent in this football game.
You know, the last time Louisville had a kick return for a touchdown, it was also in one of these rare blackout games. It was Corbin Lamb against Miami.
We called that game.
Well, maybe you did. I was working elsewhere.
Not you, but we.
But we were thinking about you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, you were here in spirit.
As I always am with the two of you.
Yes, you are.
So they're back to business here as Louisville, a 3-point margin, trying to push 2-0 Clemson to the limit, as was the case last year in a game that came down to the final moments. Clemson won it 23-17. This is only the second meeting between these new ACC foes. Clemson's first visit to Louisville, and it's been an entertaining one. Artavis Scott now. Kick coverage for Louisville just a tad bit better. Met at the 15 that time. They're roaring here at Papa John's. Goldman taken down after a gain of maybe 2.5 that time.
And it's always amazing what it does for a defense. First of all, you look at that, 92 yards after contact for Wayne Goldman. He's been the MVP tonight for this Clemson offense. It's amazing how energized you get when your offense or special teams put points on the board. And then listen to this crowd. As a defense, you get jacked up, man.
Watson. Good run from DeShaun Watson for a first down out to the 32.
Well, there's a burst we just saw there from number 4 that we hadn't quite yet seen in this game. I mean, not a lot of space. And you talk about his running ability and speed. And he's a guy that likes to scramble to throw, but showing you off the legs right there. You don't get to see it too often. Certainly not early in this game.
Remember, he only had 5 total yards last year against Louisville because he broke his hand, only played 11 snaps. Gonna run again. And he slides this time smartly for 9 yards.
I love that. I love that. That's exactly what he needs to do. We talked about it earlier. Broken collarbone, finger, ACL. It's the only thing that's held him back from being sensational and everybody knowing about him across the country. 9 yards, slide. If it's 3rd and 1, lower your shoulder and get it.
2nd and 1. Because that guy can just pick it up for you.
Yep.
Wayne Goldman.
Let him be the hammer.
Counting down towards the 8-minute mark. And Clemson's lead is down to 3. As Todd Grantham, Louisville defensive coordinator, former Georgia defensive coordinator under Mark Richt, is trying to find a stop here for his crew. Right on top of it, right away. That was Trumaine Washington, who read it perfectly.
That's the first time this defense has played it that well. Just aggressive. No one gets out to block him. Leggett, the tight end, is lined up way too far away. That's got to be the slot receiver going out and getting him for a block. That play had no chance from the get-go.
2nd and 15. Can Clemson now dig out of a down and distance hole a bit? Watson calls his own number. Gets it back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, well, what's interesting, too, on this drive is they're having all their success running it right into the teeth of Louisville's front 7, where they're not supposed to have as much success. Now, giant 3rd down again. A lot of young linemen back up center with crowd noise. You got to communicate the pass protection. This helps the pass rush.
3rd and 11. Pressure comes. Ball is out. And it's Wormburn short of Leggett. They're going to be punching away.
And you got to like Louisville's aggressiveness. They're bringing more guys up. You saw the tackle on the outside on the quick pass. They're bringing everybody. Man coverage, left side of the screen. Great read by DeShaun Watson. He's just got to take a little something off that football, and he's wide open. Big 6'5" tight end. He'd like to have that one back.
That's what happens, I think, as a quarterback when you've been hit as many times. Yeah, when you've been hit as many times as he has, you stop stepping into throws as much because you're anticipating pressure in your face and anticipating getting hit. The guy that has the injury concerns and injury history he's had, I know as a coaching staff at Clemson, you always wince every time he takes those shots, but he keeps getting up. Good news for Clemson.
He's also ran the ball 11 times, too, so that's 11 more opportunities for him to get hit.
Teasdale punts away. Fair catch inside the 15 from Alexander. 6.5 minutes remain as Louisville has the ball and a chance. Louisville hasn't started 0-3 since 1984, and they're scratching and clawing and fighting to avoid it. seeing if they can somehow, some way, push Clemson to the limit here. Kyle Bolin gets it complete for a first down to Samuel. He of the 100-yard kickoff return moments ago.
Yeah, and a really nice throw by Bolin, protecting it, throwing it to the back shoulder of Samuel away from the defenders. And another aggressive play call by Louisville on first down. Because of the decision-making of Bolin, Bobby Petrino and this staff letting him take shots vertically early in drives.
Just the second start of the career of Bolin. Came in off the bench last week in the fourth quarter to rally Louisville, but they came up short. First down pass. That effort also complete to Samuel.
It's concentration and stretch by a young true freshman. He's only 5'7".
Good job secured it right against his belly.
And again, a safe throw by Bolin. Low and away. His guy's going to get it or no one's going to get it. It just helps the coaches dial up more plays because you know he's going to take care of the ball.
2nd and 5. Complete this time. That time he finds Pete, the 6'6" freshman who had the big reception towards the end of the third quarter.
And Lamar Jackson, we haven't seen him in a while. He comes on the field right now, but the difference in him and Bolin is Bolin throws the ball on time. He's pretty consistent with it. You're seeing that right now. But 3rd and short, earlier you saw in the game, Lamar Jackson. Great job.
Here's the changeup. The overly athletic, speed-burning, true freshman quarterback with Reggie Bonifant, another quarterback, in this package as well, number 7. 3rd and 1. Jackson to pass and gets it complete as he finds L.J. Scott. Lamar Jackson converts for them.
And this ball actually is designed to go to Reggie Bonifant. You're going to see number 7 on the right side. He's running deep down the field on a corner route, but it's a good decision by Lamar Jackson. The deep throw not there. Check it down, keep the drive alive.
Bolin back in now. First down as they have crossed midfield. Remember, they do have a veteran place kicker who's solid and sturdy, and John Wallace. Good protection, good completion once again to Travion Samuel. And they are within the field goal range of Wallace already.
You talked about the pass pro, Joe. How many times tonight have we seen Ben Boulware and these linebackers run free on a blitz? Watch the black jerseys stone the blitz. Clean pocket to throw from. That's just pitch and catch.
And look how fast he's getting the ball out. It doesn't really matter. The passer doesn't have time to get there.
Great looking drive from Louisville, but this is a floating duck. Flag is down as it's picked off.
Holding's a different animal.
On defense, number 25, 10-yard penalty. Results of the penalty, first down.
They flag Tankersley.
And it's a good call. No, it doesn't matter if it's tipped for holding. If it's holding, it stands. If it's pass interference, they'll take it away. But watch Tankersley. He had a pull on the jersey. Good rush by
And it was the rush by Shaq Lawson that affected the throw of Kyle Bolin. You could see him swipe his arm.
But it was the tug of the jersey. Right here, watch him when he gets beat. Right there. Tugs on the jersey, on the hip a little bit. Which was enough for the holding call. It's a good call.
Under 4 minutes to play. Number 11 Clemson being pushed by Louisville. Bolin, first down, has time and then is swarmed. Took too much time and went down. That was Carlos Watkins.
And that's one of the few bad decisions we've seen from Bolin in this game. You cannot take a sack in these types of situations down a field goal. Pressure's in the pocket's collapsing, it's coming in, but you've got to have a clock going off in your head to throw the football away.
Carlos Watkins and the freshman Christian Wilkins coming up to sack Bolin there. 4th sack by Clemson. Shot downfield, overthrown. It'll be 3rd down and 14.
And you talk about his decision making on first down. You got to remember here too, it's 3rd down. You're in field goal range already. If he takes another sack, you might take yourself out of field goal range. So it's, if I'm Clemson, I'm thinking the ball's coming out fast. I make sure I don't give up a field goal opportunity. And Bolin's got to know that in his head.
If I'm Clemson, I'm sending pressure again. I'm trying to move them out of field goal range. I've gotten home a lot tonight. Guys like Shaq Lawson up front. I like my chances if I'm Clemson.
3rd and 14. setting up the screen. What more can they help with the kick effort of John Wallace? It'll be at the 21-yard line. So the senior kicker, who last week had a 53-yard field goal attempt partially blocked with under a minute to play, would have tied the game, now gets a chance to tie the game against number 11 Clemson. 38-yard attempt he made from 26 earlier. He's got that bright yellow shoe. And it drifted off to the side. Dabo loves it. Bullet dodged. Petrino can't believe it. Strong effort from Louisville, but the senior kicker can't put it through. John Wallace had the chance to be the hero. Missed the 38-yard field goal moments ago. And Clemson is going to go with Gallman down here with under 2.5 minutes to play on a night when their starting running back's gone for 137 yards rushing.
You got Vetova down on the field again.
Second time.
Yeah, second time in not very many plays.
Try to pop up and get back in there. No, sir. If we have to stop play, you have to get off the field.
You got to imagine this is Wayne Gallman time for Clemson, as well as he's run the ball, a chance to ice the game, and a real opportunity for this young, inexperienced Clemson offensive line. Came into this game without a starter in the lineup from a season ago, going against the strength of Louisville's defense, their front seven. Ball game on the line.
And what's been the weakness of Clemson, would you say, the past couple years offensively? I'd say it's been short yardage and goal line situations. Good time to answer that call.
Yeah.
Try to get first downs and get out of here with the W.
Louisville's got to think about a timeout here after this play.
2 remaining.
Clemson doesn't get it.
And they do stack them up, so they can think about managing the clock now.
Second timeout of the half.
They're able to stop it with 1:31 remaining. Senior place kicker John Wallace is hoping his defense gives him one more chance. Missed moments ago. And Bobby Petrino desperate for the stop. Third down. And DeShaun Watson. 3rd and 6 run, and he gets it right to that line to make.
That is close.
He got it. And I thought it was a face mask, too, when he was running the ball. Didn't see his head jerk just for a second?
They're going to
Remember,
measure
the yellow
this
line
and they need
unofficial,
to.
but it looked like it was here. Let's see.
Yep.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah.
When his head turns like that, it always makes it.
Andy Teasdall, the punter for Clemson, he has had slow get-off times all night. He's been 2.2 and north, but Louisville hasn't gone after him. And back deep will be Alexander.
Really good. Almost blocked, directional, so no return. That was
Said
close.
slow get-off times. You need to be 2.0 or less at this level of football.
High snap, too.
And he was over 2 again and went off to the side of his shield and was nearly blocked.
I'll tell you what, if Mickey Chrome would have thought he could, he thought he was going around the wall set up in front. I don't think he thought he had a chance to block it. If he was heads up there paying attention, he might could have blocked that thing.
That's why the shield is there. Why drift off to the side?
Yeah.
So
Punch
now,
straight ahead.
for Clemson, a defense that was the biggest question mark coming into the season. After losing 9 starters and 7 players to the league, now they're being asked to close this game out.
How about some drama here in Louisville? Bolin, just over a minute to play, scrambling, And coming up with the completion, but not for much to Savage.
And tackled inbounds.
You'd rather not catch that ball.
You're right.
You know what? It's a good short tackle, but you got to know as a receiver, that's not worth the time. No timeouts left. That's just inexperience.
Shaq Lawson, number 9, he's been a terror rushing the passer.
45 seconds to play. Bolin down the middle is complete. As Mickey Crum gets out of bounds smartly and is already in the field goal range of John Wallace. Here we go. No timeouts. 38 seconds remain. 23-yard reception by Crum.
What a big time for the redshirt freshman to make an impact catching the football. We've seen it with a couple key blocks tonight. Wow, look at this. Errant snap. The Bolin wasn't ready for.
That leaves 33 ticks of the clock.
Heck of a job, Bolin, throwing the ball away as soon as he get it. But look at this.
He's not even ready for the snap.
Tobias Hewley.
Heads up play.
No doubt.
Outside the pocket.
Over
already.
the line of scrimmage.
You know, so he got lucky, too, that ball was snapped outside the pocket where he could pick it up and just chuck it out of bounds.
Oof.
2nd and 10. 33 seconds remain. And that was Kevin Dodd who got to him.
And they called it a sack.
No doubt. Clock is now under 20 seconds. 3rd and 15. Desperation time for Louisville from their 41-yard line. Do they have it in them? Can they cash the lottery ticket? We get the answer, and it is a no. Intercepted. Clemson wins it. Jadar Johnson shuts the door on Louisville's hopes.
You take the win any way you can get it. Defense, I thought, played a phenomenal game tonight for Clemson, with the exception maybe of a handful of plays. DeShaun Watson, they've got a playoff caliber schedule. Keep your eye on the Clemson Tigers.
Clemson survives. Louisville is 0-3. 20-17. A thriller here in the Derby City. SportsCenter is next.